As we head into February, we have had a pretty chilly and cold winter across east central Indiana. We've seen everything from brutal snowstorms bringing several inches of snow to our region, all the way to frigidly cold temperatures, some even below zero at times throughout the month of January, with those wind chills making it feel even colder outside. Now, hopefully, as we head into February, things get warmer out there, but as we head into the second half of winter, it's nice to remember some of the precipitation types and how they form here in eastern Indiana. Now, we can think of our atmosphere as a layer cake with several different layers, the most important of which being the troposphere. That is the lowest layer that we are living in here on Earth and the one that happens to have 99% of our weather. Now, obviously, we know how snow and rain form. That's a mixture of warm and cold air leading to those different precipitation types. But people often forget the other types of rain and snow mixing we see here. Of course, warm air is what causes rain. If there is warm air from the ground all the way up to the cloud, we get rain. We see this all the time, and it's very beneficial for crops and things here in central Indiana. Now, if we get a mix where, say it is warm for 75 to 90% between the cloud all the way to just a few hundred feet above the ground, and then there's a little bit of cold below that 32-degree freezing mark of just above the ground, we get what is called freezing rain. Now, freezing rain typically leads to ice and different sort of things like that often lead to slide-offs and driving incidents here in eastern Indiana. It's the most hazardous type of winter precipitation and can lead to stuff that's even kind of messy, just making a slippery, icy sidewalk on the side of the road here. Now, if we move to the second half where there's colder air, we see sleet and snow mixing in. Now, sleet is what we call ice pellets, which are typically caused by a mixing of that warm and cold air, where it's majorly cold between the bottom half of the ground and about halfway up, where this starts out at rain and freezes into ice pellets. Now, of course, we typically don't think of sleet as being that hazardous, but it can be as hazardous as freezing rain in terms of accumulating and having that distinct sort of ting noise as it falls on windshields and roofs and things of that nature. Now, of course, we all love snow across our region here, and that's caused, of course, when cold air exists from the ground all the way up to the cloud base. Now, when you're out driving in the winter, you're oftentimes asked to slow down, and a lot of the times that is because of black ice. Now, black ice is associated with freezing rain, and that is due to freezing rain that accumulates on the ground and becomes translucent on roads and overpasses and interstates, meaning most drivers can't really see it. So what we recommend people to do, especially wintertime driving, is to keep that steering wheel straight, do not brake, and take the foot off the accelerator to slow down. What this does is it allows less sudden stopping and going motions with your car, which means there's more time for you to react and more time for the car to react and not overcorrect. Now, hopefully, as we get into February, we start to see the end of winter here, but it's important to keep updated on these winter weather phenomena so you can stay safe out there. So here's to the second half of winter being a nicer and hopefully warmer month across our region.